Hi guys, Divine Spirit of Sunshine here, doing another pick a card read. I did a little bit different this time. So I have 4 cards from the Rider-Waite deck, the traditional Rider-Waite. I picked 3 cards from the Hanson and Roberts, and then 2 cards from the Handel Tarot. Also, I made these little zodiac cards, and I shuffled, and picked 2 zodiacs for each pile. So we could kind of see either you're dealing with that sign or you are that sign. That way you know it resonates. Okay, so the first one is the Sand Dollar. Second is the Lighthouse. And third is the Fossilized Clamshell. It's pretty cool, huh? Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started here. Move these out of the way. Okay, so we're starting with the Sand Dollar here. Put that right back there. Okay, so all the cards have been shuffled already, and I meditated on all these situations. So these are situations that someone out there is needing clarifying on. Typically I do love readings, so I wouldn't be surprised if all of them have to do with love. It might be career though as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So first card out is the Death card, right? So this is Scorpio card in the major arcanas. So it could either be dealing with the Scorpio, or it could be wanting a new beginning, right? Because anytime there's a death, I always tell people don't be afraid of the Death card, because it just means like there's a new beginning coming. So I definitely see a new beginning here, or it could be dealing with the Scorpio. Next card, the Star. So this is Aquarius major arcana. So it could be dealing with either you are, or you're dealing with a Scorpio or an Aquarius. This can also mean though too that, you know, you're wanting this new beginning with someone that you see as a star, or someone that you see as wish fulfillment. And, you know, maybe that hasn't happened yet. But let's do the next card and see what's out next. So, yeah, the World. So this is definitely saying, you know, making efforts towards something new, right? Laying all of the old habits that don't serve, you know, leaving people, places, or things behind that, you know, no longer have a service to you in your life, right? Next card out is the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, so I definitely feel like in this situation, you know, someone is wanting a new start. It doesn't have to be necessarily with the Scorpio or an Aquarius, but it can be, you know, wanting this new start with what they see as their wish fulfillment, right? And really trying to get rid of things, people, places, things that do not serve the higher them. And then with the Ace of Pentacles, that is prosperity, right? That's also, you know, having success financially, maybe. Maybe this Scorpio or this Aquarius is having some financial success at this time, and if not, they're just wanting to offer stability to someone. So the next card out is the Hanged Man. Okay, so being an indecision about the situation, right? Like, you know, wanting, having an idea of how it might look to you, and having an idea of how you might offer it, but still being in the hangman position of not really knowing, you know, is this right for me? Is it? Isn't it? Is it? Isn't it? You know, I know personally I definitely go through that energy a lot. Next card out is the Five of Rods. So this is kind of, you know, fighting and bickering and, you know, maybe really having to deal with this kind of energy to be able to get the wish that you want, right? You know, the fighting and the bickering could also leave you in the hangman position, you know, like you don't know which way to go. Like, you know, maybe if I take this way, it will cause a bunch of arguments, it'll cause a bunch of, you know, disputes, and, you know, just energy nobody really wants to deal with. Next card is the Knight of Pentacles. So we have the Ace of Pentacles here, and you're seeing yourself as a knight, maybe. So, now this is a man that can be, or a woman, can be very kind of stern and really just focused on money, right? Doesn't have to be. Typically, this is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But really, it's just an embodiment of the energy, right? So this person, instead of fighting, you know, they're stuck. And instead of fighting, they're just kind of focusing on their work. Focused on their work and, you know, making money currently. Next card out is the Three of Swords. So this is my mourning card, right? It's, you know, mourning the thought of, you know, wanting this rebirth and mourning the thought of, you know, having an idea of how to approach it, but staying in this hangman position with these fights and, you know, just kind of focused on money, not love, will leave anybody in a mourning position, right? So the swords represent Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. And next card is the Courage card. So this is Seven of Wands. So if you guys are into numerology, let's see, the numbers we have out, yeah, so right away is the 3, the 7, 21, 27, and 13 are the numbers I see right off the bat. Also 5, you know, so that might be a clarifier to you, if this is your story or not. And then, so with the Seven of Wands, with this Courage, it's saying, you know, staying in this mourning state and just working and, you know, to avoid conflict is, you know, it's never going to bring you your wish, right? It's always going to take courage to move forward. That is the 7 card. Like, wands are action, right? Action and responsibility and really taking hold of the situation to get what you want in the situation. And then the zodiac signs we have attached. Look at that. Boom, baby. Scorpio and Aquarius. So we have the Scorpio card right here. We have the Aquarius card right here. That worked out perfect. Awesome. And then I did do a little message for this reading. It's keep your mind clear and your heart open, and you will hear your truth. Right? I love this read. Oh my gosh, it's so cool that the Scorpio and Aquarius card came up. Love that. Okay, let's go ahead and get ready to move on to number 2. Okay, so great reading for the sand dollar there. Okay, so now we're on to the lighthouse. And the first card that we have out is the Page of Swords. So wanting to make an offer. You know, it is only a page. It's not a knight. It's not a king. It's not an ace, right? And so it's just kind of like wanting to bring in information that could, you know, pose as an opportunity, right? So maybe not always, you know, having the perfect communication, you know, but having an idea of what you kind of want to say or the direction that you want to go. That is definitely how I see the Page of Swords. So then the next card is the Six of Wands. Okay, so this is wanting wish fulfillment. This is wanting your ultimate happiness, you know. And like I said, wands are actions. So maybe, you know, deciding with communication about, you know, wanting to take action for your wish fulfillment. You know, wanting to speak your truth so you can maybe, you know, start to get to what you picture as your wish fulfillment. So the next card out is the Six of Pentacles. So awesome. Okay, so we have 2 sixes there. And this is definitely wish fulfillment as well. And it's balance, right? It's wanting to find balance in the situation with communication and wish fulfillment of having, you know, it's definitely having your wish fulfillment with the balance of the pentacles, right? So this has action. So this has words, action, money, you know, also stability. Like just trying to find the perfect combination that will lead you to your ultimate happiness, right? Next card out is the Emperor. So this is the Aries Major Arcana card. And so far I see the numbers 51 and 15 And also, with these birds up here, I'm kind of being drawn to kind of count those 2, 4, 6, 8. So a 10, which is, usually completion. And I'm kind of drawn to these crumbs that are being dropped, showing generosity. And that's a 4. The scales equal 2. And then we have 2 6s here. Yeah. So I feel like if you are dealing with an Aries, right? The Emperor is like very to his business and very to like what he thinks is such, right? But that can be good sometimes. Like people with a direction, can really offer a lot of information because they've been there and they've done that. So if you're not dealing with an Aries, and this is definitely an energy that I see, where they're wanting to bring in balance. They might even see you as the Emperor, like you have your stuff together, you're intuitive, sitting on your throne waiting for your Empress, right? Whether you're male or female energy, it's ever changing. So, and the next card out is King of Pentacles. Yeah, so, this guy can be kind of stern, but he definitely has, stability and money and love to offer, right? And typically the King of Pentacles I see as Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, another earth energy. So far we have air, fire, earth, fire, and then another earth. So next card out is the Ace of Swords. So this is ultimate communication. And do you see how the crown is up here? So this could even be like divine timing, right? I see this card as, bringing in communication at the exact time, divine timing. This is communication. So just like we have the Page of Swords here, wanting to take action and having balance with stability. The Emperor, is you're either or they're seeing, stability in this, and they know that there needs to be ultimate communication, and it'll come in divine timing. Next card out is the Two of Rods. Okay, so this is kind of like, so that's another fire energy, just so you know. This is air, and this will be fire. And, the Two of Rods can mean a couple different things to me. It can mean, feeling like you have the world in your hands, like you've made your decision and you're going about your way. But there's other meanings it can mean too, right? Like, so, taming the power of the great, the setting of a ruined church indicates the power of the soul. A staircase is a spiritual ascent. 2 crossed spears form a symbol of power and pacification. So power, the strong will to keep moving on. The power of spiritual truth. You could have come to a spiritual truth. You could be having dreams, about how this situation is going to go. And really just trying to decide which direction you are, and whatever you don't decide, leaving that in the past. So next card out is the Six of Cups. So that's definitely the happiness card, right? Going after, what you feel like will make you happy. It's making a decision to go after what you feel will make you happy, right? We have a little star up here and a bubble here for illusions, right? So the star is very small, but there's a lot that's unknown with this huge bubble here. Maybe a lot hasn't been revealed, but that even just having that glimpse of a wish, this Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio card is enough that you see 6 cups filled, whether there's illusions or not. Next card out is the Father of Swords. So yeah, this is the King of Swords in the Handel Tarot, right? So now we have the Page of Swords, Ace of Swords, King of Swords, really feeling like you need to stand and speak your truth. Nobody should ever be afraid to speak whatever it is they feel. The Father of Swords, he can be harsh with his words, right? His blade is long, sharp, and cold. But at the same time, like, ultimate truth is where you stand in your knowing. And so with the Father of Swords, I definitely see it as, a dominant a dominant figure, you know, maybe being afraid, you know, kind of delegating authority to others. This can be someone that, you know, kind of says my way or the highway. This is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius card. So now we have 1, 2, 3 air signs. We have 2 fire, 3 fire, and we have 1, 2 earth energies here. So, like I was saying with the King of Swords, he's definitely like dominant, you know, and like I was saying, he delegates authority to others. He's a very strong individual, but he's creative and with his intellect, you know, he wants to communicate, knows how to communicate, but whether he does or not, you know, can kind of depend on the person. And he does practice fairness, though. That I can say about him. You know, so this deadly snake here, that kind of represents Uranus, and the curls around the sun. See how he curls around the sun? Through the snake kills. Its green color indicates the mystery of rebirth. The sun is order of law, right? Wants balance. And the principle of energy. So this is Ra, you know, King of Swords. That's his name, Ra. And it's from the Egyptian part of this deck. And he carries a scepter, right? So it's a symbol of his power here, his scepter here, right? He knows he's powerful and good at communication, but whether he wields that or not, you know, is up to him. So in this situation, let's see what signs we're dealing with. So we have Taurus and we have Sagittarius. Okay, so the Sagittarius energy would be the wands here, you know, and here. And the Taurus energy would be the pentacles, and yeah, here and here. So that actually fits as well, right? Sagittarius would be down here too with the wands, or the rods, traditionally called in this. And yeah, I feel like, you know, with communication and action, you know, both parties want balance in this. But the thing is like, you know, be discerning about what you demand and what you don't. I feel like, you know, try and keep it balanced is what this is kind of saying here. So you guys remember too to always check your sun, moon, rising, ascendant, your Venus and your Mars, plus Mercury currently is in retrograde, which means regress, right? Whenever a planet is forward, that's moving forward. Whenever a planet is in retrograde, that's backwards, right? So look up what your Mercury, what sign your Mercury is in. Might give you a little clue into this. And the message that comes with this reading is, ever since happiness heard your name, it has been running through the streets trying to find you. So beautiful. That's exactly what this is talking about, right? Wish fulfillment, needing, you know, that balance to find your happiness. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the third deck here that has the fossilized clam. Okay, put those to the side here. So yeah, the fossilized clam here. Look how cool it is. It's so cool. Alright, first card out is the Two of Swords. So wanting to make a decision, right? Tired of being in this bound energy of, you know, knowing that you need to make a decision, wanting to make a decision, and maybe you finally have, because it can also mean like peace. Like, look at how peaceful the water is in the background, right? Maybe finally coming to a decision after having, you know, to juggle 2 different decisions and not really knowing, you know, which way would be best for you. So the swords represent Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Next card out is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So this is kind of like, you know, when the Wheel of Fortune is in the upright, it can really mean like, you know, the universe has chosen, the universe has decided which way is going to go which, right? Well, when the Wheel of Fortune is in reverse, I always see it as, you know, a change of circumstances, you know, maybe taking hold of one's life, or grabbing hold of what you see as your fate. So, like, with making a decision here, this is, really deciding, to go ahead and see and go after what you feel is your fate, what you feel is destined for you. It can mean, really taking what life has given you so far. So, maybe having these two decisions and taking what life has given you so far, and trying to really make the best of it is how I see that. Next card out is the Magician in reverse. So the Magician in reverse, I mean, some people, might feel a certain type of way about that card, but really it's just, a natural expression of energy, and it could be blocked. So this natural expression of energy that's blocked is an inner resistance. It can also mean arrogance and, misuse of personal power. So maybe you have this choice to make, right? And you're wanting to take what's yours, but not overtake. And with the Magician in the upright, it can definitely mean like new beginnings and wanting to manifest what you feel is yours. But instead, you're misusing your power to do so, right? So the Magician I see as, a Taurus card, me personally as a reader. And, I can also see it as Virgo, too. That's what I hear intuitively. And if you're into numerology, so far the numbers that we have are a 10, a 1, and a 2. So, next card out, the Six of Swords. So, knowing that you need to move away from something, right? Now we have the 2, the 1, the 10, and the 6. Right? Knowing that you need to move away from something, like maybe misusing, this, staying in this stuck energy has got you not claiming what is rightfully yours and has you kind of misusing your power, because you're choosing to stay stuck. And you need to move away from that energy to be able to reach ultimate fulfillment, right? Sixes to me, especially this card, is look at how they're kind of hunched over here, and, he's really trying to paddle away. Look at these, rough waters, trying to go into smoother waters where there is no waves. But you have to leave something behind sometimes, and it's not always easy. Next card out is the Four of Swords. So this is my no talking card, right? Knowing that you need to move away from something and not really speaking about it, maybe just trying to ignore it. I call this my library card because there is no communication really going on about this. It's like an overall feeling that that needs to happen, but it's not. Fours are almost to a 5, and when we get to the 5, it's time to decide, right? We can go forward or we can go backwards. So next card out is the Ten of Cups. Not speaking about maybe this, this wish fulfillment that you so choose. Like 10, that's completion, right? Getting to the goal, getting to the happiness, getting all 10 cups full. I can definitely see that in this situation, making the choice to move away from something, whether you speak about it or not. I can see there's no communication at the time, but maybe you both kind of have this wish fulfillment of 10 of Cups, like the ultimate happy family, the, having the castle with the 2 kids, and, really just wanting the same things in life, but maybe at this time you're not communicating about it. So far in this reading, I see 3 air signs, I see 1 water, and 2 earth so far. So the next card out is 9 of Pentacles. So we're going from a 2, a 10, a 1, a 6, a 4, a 10, and a 9, right? So this 9 of Pentacles definitely represents, illusions, kind of having this so-called, I don't know, maybe staying in a dream state of, how to achieve this rather than taking action on it. If there is no communication about what your wish is or what would give you wish fulfillment, then it's kind of you, like, having illusions about how to get there, right? Staying in this kind of state where, you're not really moving away from what you need to move away from, and you're not communicating that this is what you want. But just kind of staying in a kind of dream state of, oh, well, if this would happen, this would be great. Or if this would happen, that would be fabulous. But, there really needs to be action taken in this situation, right? Because if you have two decisions to make and you're not making it, you really are misusing your power, right? Why stay in a stuck position when you can make a decision to move away from something or attract something into your life with law of attraction? So next card out is the Ten of Wands. So now we have two tens, right? Two tens. The universe kind of wants you to decide what is right for you. Sitting with the illusions and, not making the choice to really release something when it needs released and there's no communication about it. That, the Ten of Wands is really hard to achieve. The Ten of Wands, this is another fire energy. But needing to make that choice, right? The Ten of Wands is, it can mean a couple different things depending on what you view as a reader. But for me, it's kind of oppression, right? And depression. And it's needing a transformation from cruelty to liberation, right? And you could possibly fall in this position. But take action either way, right? Whatever's ours, the universe will never take away. And whatever is not ours, the universe takes away every time. With this Mercury retrograde, it's really important that everyone leads with intention. So whatever you say, whatever you do is what you attract to you, right? That's a good thing to keep in mind. Next card out is the Fool. So this is another Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius card, right? And it's 0. So it's just kind of saying, with this depression and with these things that have gone on in the Ten of Wands, there needs to be a rebirth. There needs to be a new start. The Fool is all about new beginnings, right? We're at 0. 10 is what you would call completion, right? Putting a complete end to maybe these fantasies and actually going and making a new start with, what needs to be restarted. So I definitely see that, once you choose to move away from something and start communication, that the Ten of Cups is achievable. Leave the illusions behind, lead with intention, and be completely open to a new start, right? With the Fool. He's considered the Fool. This is another Virgo card. But he is not a fool, right? He's just a fool in the sense that he doesn't worry about what can be achieved and what can't. He is just going. He just wants new, right? He is out there. He is ready. Like, he wants to have a complete new beginning, which I think is great. Let's see what signs are associated with this read. So we have Libra and Capricorn. So please remember that, you could be dealing with Libra or a Capricorn, or you yourself are a Libra or Capricorn. Use this as confirmation. And the message behind it is your situation never defines you. You are mightier than the highest mountains. Love yourself with compassion. And remember, you were born to fly. So I think that that's pretty perfect with this situation. Just deciding to be happy and, leaving behind the things that don't serve you and really, going after this new start. So I hope you guys like this pick-a card. Let me know. I really appreciate all the likes and the subscribes. And, yeah, hope you guys have a good night.